Right now, every person, every business says they're using AI, but that phrase can mean almost anything. One of them occasionally asks a chatbot to clean up an email. Another one has AI quietly running a piece of their business before they've even had coffee. They all say they're using AI, and they're operating at completely different levels. Same word, completely different reality. Today, we're breaking down the 7 stages that businesses and individuals typically go through as AI becomes part of how they actually work. Which level are you right now? The goal isn't to jump to level 7 tomorrow. It's to understand exactly where you are right now and what next clear steps look like. The biggest difference between beginners and advanced users isn't knowing more prompts or trying more models. It's how they think about AI and how deeply they integrate it into their work. Stick with me whether you're a solo creator, freelancer, manager, or business owner. This will show you exactly where you stand and how to move forward. Let's start at the beginning. Level 1, the Explorer. At this stage, AI is basically a better search engine or a curious toy. I remember when AI first came out, I was an early adopter. I would use it to make funny poems or songs about family members. I just plug in their name and some facts and it would come up with a funny poem or something. And I thought that was amazing. Then I started using it for dieting or workout stuff, and it's amazing where it's come today. But at this stage, you can ask random questions, you can summarize an article, explain a concept, brainstorm ideas, or get help writing a quick email. Employees might occasionally open ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini for simple tasks. Usage is inconsistent, unstructured, and driven by individual curiosity. There's no companion strategy, no training, and no shared processes. It feels exciting, like a novelty, but every conversation starts from scratch. AI only solves one tiny problem at a time, and then you move on. The biggest limitation, context is lost the moment you close the tab. This is where almost everyone starts, and that's perfectly okay. The goal here isn't mastery, it's simply becoming comfortable asking better questions and discovering what AI can and can't do. Pro tip to level up, get in the habit of saying, before you answer, ask me clarifying questions. You'll immediately get much better results. To move to level 2, start using AI regularly instead of occasionally. Level 2, the productivity partner. At some point, the questions start turning into conversations. AI is no longer an occasional visitor. It becomes part of your daily workflow. Use it for writing, research, planning projects, improving emails, creating presentations, generating ideas, and even as a thinking partner. You're not just asking for finished answers, you're having real conversations that make you think better and work faster. Different people develop their own favorite prompts and techniques. Productivity goes up, but knowledge stays isolated. What one person learns doesn't automatically help the rest of the team. This is where real time savings begin. You stop treating AI like a magic answer box and start treating it like a skilled colleague who's always available. Key shift, the quality of output depends heavily on the context you provide. The more background you give, the better it performs. It's less like using a tool and more like collaborating with someone new, someone who's only as useful as the information you're willing to share with them. Businesses at this level often encourage employees to use AI, but everyone still works differently. The catch is that everyone figures this out alone. One person develops a great way of using it, the person next to them has no idea, productivity goes up, but it's still one person at a time. To move to level 3, start documenting what works. Save your best prompts, turn individual wins into something shareable. So level 3, the workflow designer. This is where things get serious. You stop improvising every interaction. Instead, you create repeatable systems, reusable prompts, templates, custom instructions, project spaces, and organized workflows. Teams begin standardizing how AI is used. They build shared prompt libraries, master instructions for roles, and documented best practices. Businesses at this stage start documenting what actually works so a new hire can plug into a business on day 1 instead of spending 6 months figuring out all of it on their own. AI shifts from helping one person work faster to helping the entire team work more consistently. So a real example, create a master prompt for your role that includes your voice, brand guidelines, team structure, tools you use, and preferred output formats. Every time you start a new project, the AI already knows you and how you work. This level actually turns AI from a personal hack into a team asset. The focus shifts from how do I work faster to how does our whole team work more consistently. And that shift matters more than it sounds because consistency is what turns a clever habit into an actual asset. The next evolution, stop using AI just to help you do the work. Start using it to remove the work. So level 4, the Automator. This is usually the moment someone finally asks, wait, why am I still doing this by hand? AI now handles repetitive tasks, meeting summaries, content repurposing, email drafting, data entry, and organization, customer follow-ups, report generation, administrative work, lots of busy work. At this stage, AI gets paired with simple automation and starts doing the things nobody actually wanted to do in the first place, drafting the follow-up, organizing the documents, flagging the lead worth calling back first. Businesses identify repetitive processes and automate them using AI combined with simple automation tools. And here's the underrated shift. This isn't just about helping people finish tasks faster anymore. It's about removing the task altogether. People spend less time executing the routine stuff and more time on the parts of the job that actually require a human brain. Judgment, relationships, decisions. So result, people spend dramatically less time on routine execution and far more time on high value work. AI stops just helping you work and starts doing some of the work for you. Pro move, look for anything you do more than 2 or 3 times per week, turn it into a repeatable prompt or automated workflow. This creates real leverage, but you're still mostly copying and pasting between tools. So level 5, the integrator. And I really love this. At some point, AI stops living in a lonely chat window and starts connecting to places work actually happens. You connect AI to Gmail, Calendar, CRM, Slack, Notion, Google Drive, customer support platforms, CRM, everything. Instead of you manually copying information from one tool into another, the systems start talking to each other directly. AI can look at your calendar, scan recent emails, check Slack updates, give you a high-level summary without you lifting a finger. This is where your life gets way better and your business runs much more smoothly. Information starts moving on its own. A calendar update informs a follow-up. A new lead in the CRM triggers a message. Nobody's sitting in the middle manually relaying messages between 2 systems that should have just been talking to each other in the first place. This is when it gets fun. For an individual, this means smoother personal workflows. For a business, it means something bigger. Operations that don't depend entirely on someone remembering to update 3 different places by hand. The man hours saved, the quality of work, all that increases tremendously. And this is where the mindset shifts again from I use this tool to these are all part of one connected system. Small distinction, big difference in how much mental energy it takes to run the place. AI now has real context, so its outputs become significantly more useful and accurate. Advanced tip, use AI browser extensions or agents that can act directly inside the tools you already use if there's not backend connections. You're no longer bouncing between tabs, the systems start working together. Now, level 6, the builder. Here's where most people assume they've hit a ceiling they actually haven't hit. Instead of adapting your business to whatever software already exists, you start building solutions tailored to your exact needs. You create internal AI assistants, specialized dashboards, lightweight apps, or industry-specific workflows. Thanks to modern AI, non-programmers like me can now build useful tools. Things that I should have to pay $40,000 and take 4 or 5 months of developer work, I can now execute in a week or 2 on my own with the AI tools. Now it basically requires just being able to explain what you need, which makes English the new programming language. Businesses develop proprietary systems that encode their unique processes, knowledge, and competitive advantages. An internal AI that handles your specific onboarding for customers, a custom dashboard that analyzes your unique metrics, automated workflows built exactly for how your team works. This is where AI becomes a true competitive advantage because the systems reflect your process, your judgment, your edge, your business, not a generic template or not a generic software. It's something built for exactly the way you work, which means it's not something a competitor can copy just right off the shelf. That's where it becomes really powerful. You shift from consuming technology to creating it. Now, level 7, the strategist. And then there's the stage most people never picture because it doesn't look like using AI at all anymore. At this level, AI isn't a tool you open, it's infrastructure running in the background. Multiple AI systems, automations, agents, and workflows working together in the background to handle the recurring stuff, monitor what's happening, and prepare information while people focus on the parts that actually require human judgment. Relationship strategy, decisions with real weight behind them. You design orchestrators, main agents that coordinate specialized sub-agents for different departments or processes. You move from being in the loop, reviewing every step, to being on the loop, setting direction and intervening only when needed. shifted. Leadership focuses less on individual tools and more on designing intelligent systems that continuously improve efficiency, decision-making, and customer experience. Repetitive operational work happens automatically. People focus on creativity, relationships, strategy, and judgment calls. The ultimate transformation, your role fundamentally changes. I've seen this in my own business, where now I have things executing on the back end, AI working, providing reporting and analytics and updates. So now I spend a lot of my time just making sure that the AI is running correctly. You're directing at a much higher level. This creates massive organizational leverage. The same team can accomplish far more with the same time and energy. There's a well-documented idea in cognitive science called cognitive offloading. I love psychology. Basically, the tendency to hand off mental effort to something external the moment it's available to us. So a calculator instead of long division, GPS instead of memorizing a route. It's not laziness, maybe it is, but it's smart use of limited mental energy. But here's the twist. Most people only offload the small stuff, a quick question, a one-off task. They stop right around level 2 or 3 because that's where it feels safe, where it feels like me, but faster, rather than a system doing part of my job. Moving further than that requires something you didn't personally execute step by step. The same reason it took decades of pilots to fully trust autopilot, even after it was statistically safer. So if you've stalled somewhere in the middle, that's not a character flaw. That's just where trust runs out for most people. The businesses that move past it aren't smarter. They've just gotten more comfortable designing the guardrails instead of doing every step personally. And it does take a little bit of time. So here's the actual shape of this whole journey. Every level changes what AI is actually optimizing. Level 1 optimizes curiosity. Level 2, individual productivity. Level 3, team consistency. Level 4, time and repetitive work. Level 5, information flow. Level 6, business specific capabilities. And level 7, organizational leverage. At the beginning, AI is answering your curiosity. A little further along, it's boosting how one person works. Further still, it's making a whole team consistent. Then it starts saving real time by removing repetitive work entirely. Plus, your quality goes up. And then it connects everything so information just flows. Eventually, it becomes something built specifically around you, and at the very end, it becomes the infrastructure running underneath everything else. Every level is solving a slightly different bottleneck. That's really the whole story here. It's not 7 ways to use AI. It's that the bottleneck itself keeps moving, and your job is just to notice where yours currently sits. Nobody needs to jump from level 1 to 7 overnight. Honestly, most businesses shouldn't even try. Each stage builds the trust and the habits the next one depends on. So take it slow. AI adoption is a journey, not a switch. The biggest mistake is thinking success comes from the perfect tool or the perfect prompt. The real advantage comes from gradually changing how you work, how your systems operate, and where you spend your attention. So here's the question I want you to ask yourself today. What level is your business or your personal workflow actually operating at? And what's the single step that you can take this week? Drop your current level in the comments. I'd love to respond to them. And if you want help moving to the next level, you can book a free consultation with us on our website. Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.